Welcome back. The Lakers' lack of size has been the topic of discussion since their first-round elimination at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. In part when we focused on college possibilities, with the upside to that being a low-cost big to shore up the middle for the purple and gold. However, with the team only having a second-round pick in the 2025 draft, many fans will be looking for a more high-profile, experienced signing that can contribute now. Here we quickly look at 4 possibilities, all featured on Sports Illustrated, and give pros, cons, and the probability of each happening. Number 4 is Clint Capella. The pros are that he's an easy pick for the Lakers, in that they won't have to give up any assets to obtain him, and seems like an obvious choice due to fitting the lob threat and rim protection needs the Lakers have, and he'd be pretty much guaranteed a starting spot on the most-watched team in basketball. Seen as being in the twilight of his career, Capella is only 30 years old and averaged 9 points and 9 rebounds last season. These are all pros. Meanwhile, the cons are that he's had an extensive injury history the Lakers cannot afford at this stage. Look for this as a fallback option if they can't grab a more desired option. I'll go ahead and give this a 4 out of 10 chance of happening. At number 3 is current Milwaukee Bucks center Brook Lopez. Like Capella, some may also see him as a fallback option. He's another player that would hold some value as a rim protector, yet also a floor spacer. Splash Mountain, as he affectionately referred to, shot 37.3% from three-point range this year. He averaged 13 points per game to go with close to 2 blocks. Those all bode well in his favor. In addition, he'd space the floor for LeBron James, who has always played better with floor-spacing bigs as opposed to ones that clog the paint. Another pro is that he originates from California and would probably like to end his career there. Cons include the fact that Lopez is not a big rebounder and is now 37 years of age. Other than that, Lopez played 80 games last season and is usually healthy. We'll list this as a 7 out of 10 chance of happening. It seems like a fairly reasonable fit. Coming in at number 2 is Brooklyn Nets center Nick Claxton. Claxton is only 26 and averaged 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. He perfectly fits the Luka Doncic timeline and has 3 more years remaining on his contract. He also has a rare decreasing contract over that time frame, being owed $25.3 million in 2026, $23.1 million in 2027, and $20.9 million in 2028. However, there are questions here as assets, something the Lakers have very few of, would definitely come into play here. Their 2031 pick, along with Austin Reeves, would probably be the starting point, and that's if the team wants to deal him at all, and if they don't receive better offers elsewhere. Remember, contrary to popular belief, teams aren't just lining up to make deals with the purple and gold. The chances of this deal happening would seem less than the ones mentioned before, at 4 out of 10. Finally, perhaps the most talked about deal by fans has been the possibility of Mavericks center Daniel Gaffford. Gaffford makes a ton of sense as a target considering he has already played with Doncic on the Mavericks and knows exactly how to thrive next to him. The big man is an excellent finisher down low and provides rim protection on the other end as well. The negatives here is simply that he is not a shooter whatsoever and indefinitively a one-dimensional player. He does only have 1 year remaining on his contract at $14.3 million, so the Lakers could easily make the salary work. Though whether the Mavericks would be willing to deal with LA again so soon after the Doncic trade is worth questioning. With Cooper Flag presumably on the way to Dallas, there will be a logjam at the forward and center positions, with Flag joining Anthony Davis, P.J. Washington, Derek Lively, and Gaffford. They'll also need a guard in exchange, and Austin Reeves may be ideal as both will make about $14 million next season. Also, it's possible that due to the needs of both teams and Luka only costing 1 first-rounder, that the Lakers may be able to keep its only tradable first-round pick and engineer a straight-up deal. This seems like the best idea for all parties involved, as Reeves can hold down the fort while Kyrie Irving is on the mend, then slide over to the 2 when he returns. We think this has an 8 out of 10 chance of taking place, and won't be the least bit surprised if it happens this summer.